4 of the credit unions I use locally here in Northern California and one that's based in Chicago no longer is really giving out 15-year loans on pre-owned recreational vehicles that are more than 5 years old. It's now a 5 or 7 year term. And they bumped the interest rates up from like 8.5% up to 10. I don't know if that's in anticipation of the Fed raising the rate. I don't know where that comes from. But right now, if I sell you an 8-year-old travel trailer, your 5 to 7 year loan is going to be between 9 and 11%, even with outstanding credit. And we use a lot of credit unions here because generally a lot of the folks that we get credit-wise are usually around that low 710, 715 range, heavy credit card debt, self-employed, and credit unions are a lot more flexible with that stuff. I just did a 695 score at 12.50 on a 8-year-old motorhome. We have to understand that the lenders control the industry. Now, does it make their payment outrageous? No. I mean, I'm still selling and getting financing on a $15,000 trailer, you know, at a $250 or $270 payment with that. So it's not like the payments are, you know, $500 on a $15,000 trailer. We're still under $300, even with the shorter term and the little bit higher interest rate. So we're still in the ballpark of affordability as far as a monthly payment. And the other positive side is you're going to pay off the loan faster. But those days of finding a used trailer for 10 grand and getting $100 payments over, those days are done. Because the lenders are now looking at the wholesale book dropping every 2 months. And they're like, no, no, no. We want these folks to have them paid off within 5 years, 7 years, especially on the older units. Now, newer units, let's say it's a 2021, 2022, 2023 used one, we could still get normal regular financing with a credit union or a bank. We can get a 6.99, 674, 799 rate. We can get a 12 or 15-year loan. But we start buying these older used trailers and fifth wheels and motorhomes, the financing starts becoming a 7-year term at 9.74, 8.99. It starts to become like that. So just because the price is cheaper doesn't mean the payment's cheaper. A lot of times you can, now I'm again, longer term loan, okay? But a lot of guys have come up to me and said, well, crap, for $290 a month, I can go buy a new one. Well, yeah, but you're paying double the money, sometimes more than double the money, and the term is 15 years or 12 years, not 5 to 7. So you're absolutely right. But if you're trying to stay in the fact where if you're a payment buyer and you want a $200 a month payment, you need to find a new travel trailer or a newer travel trailer for like 20, 21 grand. Well, I don't want to spend that much. I want to spend like 12. Okay. Well, 12 grand, you still have a $225 or $240 payment. Still really affordable. So we just have to have an understanding of the lender, especially credit unions, who are the #1 financier of pre-owned recreational vehicles. They are. They carry the majority of your used inventory loans that are out amongst the RV community because they have the most flexibility and they have lower interest rates than regular banks when it comes to older units. Same thing with fifth wheels. Same thing with motorhomes. Same thing with truck campers. Any recreational vehicle loan, the cheaper you go, the older you go, the more the payment's going to be not what you want it to be. Because again, the term of the loan is going to shrink, no matter how you look at it. You know, if you go buy a $30,000 fifth wheel that's 10 years old, your payment's going to be the same as a $60,000 fifth wheel that's brand new. Identical payment. The difference is the $30,000 one will probably have a 7-year loan, and the $60,000 one will probably have a 20-year loan. That's the difference. The length of the loan and the interest rate of the loan. The other thing we have to understand is when you go buy, let's say you go buy, we'll use Grand Design Reflections as an example. Average selling price of a Grand Design Reflection is right around $55,000 between the big ones and the small ones. About 55 grand. So when you go to a Grand Design dealership and you buy a Reflection, they always do the Foursquare thing of, oh, give me $12,000. Let's be realistic. Most people going down to buy a Reflection, Grand Design, have between $5,000 and $7,000 down, 10%. Okay, but then a guy goes, well, I got $2,500, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to go find a $25,000 Grand Design. Well, that $25,000 Grand Design used is probably going to still require the same dollar amount down payment as the new one. More than likely, if you want a decent loan, if you're putting $6,000 down on a new one, you'll need to put $6,000 down on the $30,000 one. So the dollar amount doesn't change. So when you're buying pre-owned right now, I don't care if it's a toy hauler, a fifth wheel, a travel trailer, I don't care what it is. You need to have an understanding that the down payment and payment are really not going to be any different than something newer and more expensive. So if I were in your shoes, I'm not, but if I were in your shoes, okay, and I found a $25,000 fifth wheel used that I really like, I would calculate your payment with $5,000 down, a 6-year loan at 9% interest, and that's what your payment's going to be. So let's look at that. So you're going to have you're going to finance 20 grand. So let's look at that RV loan calculator. Let's just do it together. If I can find the RV Trader one, I love the RV Trader one. There it is, RV Trader one. Okay, so at 8.99, 6-year loan, $20,000. $360.41. Okay. Now, if I go and do a $50,000 loan on a lot newer unit, and I get a 20-year term at 7.49, your payment is $382. $20 more a month for a brand new unit or a lot newer unit that's double the money. So the only money you saved payment-wise was $20. You saved nothing with the down, and you saved nothing in the payment really. What you're saving is you're not paying it for 20 years. You're paying it for 5, 6, 7. So you're out of debt on a pre-owned one faster. That's the bigger picture. That's why to buy pre-owned. using Camping World and using their website to calculate your payments, all bullshit. Because none of it factors into the fact that the age of the unit. And the problem that the industry needs to start waking up to, especially dealerships need to wake up to, is stop bringing people in and writing them up when you know damn well the people can't finance a certain trailer without enough money down and a monthly payment.